Sesh. What is going on, everybody?
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Oh, great. Now you did it. You said it 3 times. Now it's going to
Don't
pop
look in the
out.
mirror. Right. Don't look in the mirror right now. There's going to be a big seedless
Candyman.
watermelon behind me.
Yep. That's what happens.
This watermelon.
Little arms.
Did you see the modern adaptation to the Candyman that just came out like a year or two ago?
Dude, you want to know something crazy? That movie is from 30 fucking years ago, bro. 1992.
They redid a bunch of them recently. Halloween, go.
Oh my God, Halloween has been redone like 14 times, man.
The original was the best.
The original
Yeah, man.
Remakes.
Yeah.
The original made it so that I couldn't sleep in my bedroom for like 6 months.
Red, did you ever read the thing on what the actual mask was that they used for Michael Myers? What it actually was originally? It was a Captain Kirk mask that they spray painted white.
I had no idea.
Oh, interesting. That's crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, a little bit of horror fucking factoids for you to start the night off.
They should have used a Spock mask.
Little bit of tid
The
for
pointy
you.
ears.
Candyman got me, dude. I was way too young when I watched that.
Pet Cemetery is one that scared me when I was young.
Same.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Here's your trivia
woman
question.
with like
That's her sister that had
spine-
spinal bifida or whatever it
spinal
was.
meningitis.
Meningitis. There you go.
Meningitis. Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street was my childhood.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah,
I
that
think
was pretty
that's
cool.
the first Johnny Depp movie. I think is one of those.
Mine was Hellraiser.
Here's Daddy Red.
Ooh, with Pinhead. Yeah,
Pinhead,
man.
yeah. That's a cool villain.
Shit.
Shout
And
out to
that whole
Clive Barker,
thing.
man. Oh, the little box. Yeah, the puzzle box.
And the thing would all go.
Mhm.
Hellraiser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or rip dude's flesh off and shit.
Hell yeah.
Needle face. Pin,
Shit,
We
Pinhead.
started off so
Pinhead.
good, guys, and now we're talking about ripping flesh off here.
This is a great late session.
Instead of ripping your flesh off, let's fucking melt our faces off and let's get high.
Let's have a dab.
I'll do a dab.
Yeah,
with
man.
you.
Cheers,
I'm
Becca.
gonna tonight.
I'm dropping.
melting faces.
I still
melting a dab
steal your
into my
face straight off
flour.
your head.
I'm going old school.
Okay.
Bobby Weir joined Billy Strings, and they definitely stole some faces the other night.
I bet.
Holy
I
fuck!
bet you that fucking second set was just killer.
I'm waiting to catch the whole thing. I've caught bits and pieces of it.
He's with Travis
Fantastic.
tonight.
Fantastic.
I had to grab my coffee real quick.
Blender style.
Nice rip.
Was there halfway through?
I love
How are you guys liking the blender, Becca? Is it easy enough to keep clean and everything?
Yeah. Then I'll just take a bigger dab so I can have more time in between.
Fair enough, yeah.
That's fine. But I really like it. I have 2 little pearls in there and a marble. It's from Astro Charlie.
Cool.
Sorry, I was
That's okay.
trying to do a dab as well. That's dichromatic glass right there.
That's weird. It's like you can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, whoa. Yeah.
It's metal fused onto the glass like that. It's very interesting.
He also made these little stands for your dab tools. They're crystals. So I can put my little dab tool on there.
No, that's
Isn't that
dope.
cool?
I like that.
It's convenient so I don't have to it doesn't get all sticky and stuff. All gross.
It's all fancy.
Oh yeah, had to have to get the whole setup.
Right on.
Yeah, she's got the whole setup now. Now we got the ISO holder. We're good to go.
Fancy.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Now
like,
there's no excuse for having a dirty nail, so we'll rate you
You get the
harshly
dab
every
sweats?
time we see it on the air.
oh yeah.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
We're about to have some really cool dab tools too. Got the hook on Diligent. Diligent Glass sent us. Is sending us some
Did you give him a treat?
work. No.
Let me stop immediately and go get this dog a treat.
Understand
Becca's
Diogen.
face.
No, he is so specific. Like he
Routine.
needs his routine. He needs his treat as soon as he comes inside. Now he's gonna go whine to get on the bed.
Mhm.
So I already know.
Dogs get OCD too, I think.
It's so
Very
bad.
much. He got to be
I
out
wonder
there.
where he got that
routine,
from.
you know, when you
It really is. I think that's
Right
where
now.
they got that whole you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
They get set in their ways, man.
Well, we have successfully taught Diamond that she doesn't go on the bed at night anymore.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah.
Nice.
A little
Now
too
she's
crowded
in
up
the
in
chair.
there.
But yeah, she goes right up to bed and goes right in her bed. And it's nice.
Nice.
She doesn't yet whine. And now if we could just keep Fabi from waking us up in the middle of the night, walking all over our heads. And
Right. We do have a quick question in chat that I want to answer real quick. Shout out to Judo Low. Says, does anybody know if you can apply sulfur and neem in the same week, or will it burn my plants in veg? For my thing, it was always said that you wanted to be careful with your oils and sulfur and things like that. You want to try to space those out. My personal trick that I used to do is I would alternate my spraying in veg from between using, when I did use neem, sulfur and neem, and in between that I would use either soap nuts, where you take like a soap nut, you throw it in a spray bottle, shake it up, spray it on your plants. It's a nice surfactant. Or you can use like freeze-dried aloe water or coconut water or something like that. I always like to try to put something in between to try to get some of those residuals off and hope that I'm not going to have the oil left over on there.
Short
Yeah, I
answer is no, you don't want to spray them at the same time.
Well, it says in the same week. I think I would. I mean, if you're using salt, it all depends on a lot of things. But if you started with sulfur, like what Skilbo said, you could come back a day or two later and fucking spray it with just water to get most of that off, and then come back and hit it with neem if you felt like you had to do that for some reason. I wouldn't do it the other way around. You're not going to
Yeah,
get
I
that.
agree. I like doing it that order over the other order any day of the week.
Yeah, I think so. That's the only way I can think around it. That's about the only way.
Right.
The oil will
Yeah,
stick
'cause he
around on the
says-
leaves, and then the sulfur will react with it.
Right. And that's the whole purpose, is it's supposed to coat the leaves. That's what we want it to do. So, Red, are you rolled up already? Did you roll that in 7 minutes?
No, I just started rolling it. I just said
We
no.
haven't done the clock in a while.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
One
When's the
minute,
last time
minute
we're
and a
going to do this joint rolling contest?
I don't do contests.
I rolled a joint for the first time in a couple months, a couple days ago. It wasn't my best effort.
yeah, the guy from Bloom, Nathan from Bloom, was here, and he's not a very experienced joint roller, so he asked Sequence to clinic him,
Well, there you go.
and Sequence put on a clinic.
It was a good joint, but it wasn't my best. I was disappointed in my ability, so I definitely need to do it more often.
An
We don't
exacting
smoke
science.
joints ever, so I'm gonna lose my touch.
I wonder if you could get a job fucking rolling joints if you're fast enough. I don't know, man. You'd have to be pretty fast because some of
You'd
these
have to be
machines.
really fast. Yeah.
Well, haven't you heard that Snoop Dogg pays some dude, one of his friends,
That's a blunt roller. And that's
40.
a little bit
Yep.
different. Yeah.
My
40
my
grand
oldest
or
son
something?
told me, yeah.
to
That's
just
a good deal.
to just
I
ride
think that's
around in his
cool.
bus, in his tour bus, and rolling
Yeah.
blunts.
There you go.
That would be pretty cool.
And you get to hang out with Snoop, you know, so that's pretty
It's
cool.
more than
Well,
a
and you're
lot
going to
of
be
people.
smoking good shit,
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you could
presumably.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a pretty good connect.
I would imagine anybody that works for Snoop has got to smoke at least, you know, at least one time in front of him or something. I wouldn't imagine he'd want to work with somebody who didn't.
That's the prerequisite, a drug test in the opposite fashion.
Exactly. You have to fail.
You definitely want a positive test for that, right?
He's got
That's how you know
thresholds
hard
too.
smokes now.
You got to be like this high. You can't be just a little bit.
Smoke this if you want the job.
Right. As a quick callback to the show last night, if you didn't see it and you miss the old days and you want to see what brickweed looks like, go back and watch last night's Bro Show live, and definitely have a little bit of show and tell on that.
I was showing off a little bit of brickweed. I think that was in the beginning of the show. Beginning half.
Yeah, I think so too.
I just remember the weed. It was shocking to see it. It hurt my heart.
It was so, I remember consuming it and thinking, why does it smell like watermelons?
From burnt hair.
A lot of times it smelled like watermelon. And Not in a good way, like watermelon Skittles or anything. It was packed in watermelons to get it up here. But
Smell like ammonia.
Ugh.
yeah, it was.
Straight ammonia.
And then just like Tara said, you had to just, it was like mostly seeds and stems. And then you could just sort of filter out a bud here or there.
Did you guys ever consider using like a cheese grater to just grind off enough to roll?
No.
Yeah.
You either
I
broke
was
it down
all
by
for-
hand.
Dude,
Like
I see people
stiff.
saw it like cheese, or bread or something. Just saw a chunk off.
It was always so dry. It was just so terrible.
Crumbly.
That's why when the kind bud came around, it was like everybody was pooling their money.
Yep.
Get
That's
in
really-
on the kind bud.
I got 5 on it.
Uh-huh. It gets you 2 hits.
Too expensive. I couldn't do it, man. It's
That would-
$20 for a gram. I was like, I can't do $20 for a gram. It was never a gram. It was like, if I was spending $20 on a gram and it weighs 0.8, I'm like, you motherfuckers. I'd get a core, I'd get 7 grams for $20. You know what I mean? I go down to the hood and go get 7 grams for $20. 7.5. You go 7.5 for $20.
Would you get more high on your $20 gram or your $20 7 grams of liquid?
No, it was for me. It was about how many blunts am I able
Yep.
to smoke, or
Mhm.
smoke a, because it's the longevity thing. That $20 bag just
The
wouldn't
habit of it.
last through like a 16-hour video game session with your buddies. You know what I mean? You need to get an ounce.
How much money were you saving for Taco Bell on that purchase?
I mean, that's a couple of bean burritos at least, man.
There was definitely some Taco Bell going down. Let's see. The average purchase of Taco Bell was like probably $12, something like that.
$12 is a lot of goddamn food for Taco
Fuck
Bell.
no
Oh.
shit. I used to smash,
That's
dude.
the whole menu.
Like 7-layer burrito is my thing, man. And 7-layer burrito, the double decker tacos. You get a soft shell wrapped around a hard shell with beans in between.
Dude,
Yeah.
I would just get the box, man. You get like a box of 10 or something.
Those
back in the
two.
day.
No,
yeah.
there you
Yeah,
go.
smash down a
They
10
still
pack.
do it.
Yeah.
It's almost double the price it used to be, but they still do it.
You say double the price. I can remember when I was a teenager, fucking really young, it used to be $39, $49, $59. So it was like 39 cents for a taco, 49 cents for a tostada, and like 59 cents for a burrito. So
Yeah.
that's
pretty
when
good
money
price.
would take you further, Sonny.
Yeah. Wash it all down with Mountain Dew.
Pre-Baja Blast Mountain Dew with that.
I
really
remember.
don't.
Do you
It was
remember
code
gas
red.
before it was $1 a gallon? I'm that
Mhm.
years old.
I wonder when Michigan's minimum wage went up to $5 an hour, because I can remember that, and I think I was a kid, and I was excited as fuck to hear about it because I was getting close to working age, or I was working, or maybe just starting working when that went down. It made me so excited at $5 an hour.
The minimum wage was like $5.25, $5.20 or $5.25 when I
We
started
feel so
working.
old, painted lady.
335.
335, man. Forever it was 335.
Definitely. Holy shit.
I was working at Warehouse Records for $3.35 an hour.
Yeah,
and
but you had the
spending my
coolest
entire
job.
paycheck on CDs.
Give it right back to him.
Yep.
God.
Yeah,
I was
man.
hurting it. Maybe it
She's
was
making script for a mining company.
520 or 515. Oh, 3 change. Oh, that's rough.
You could allegedly buy a house working minimum wage as like a cashier or something in that
Yeah,
back in that day.
No doubt.
It's like, that's what it's like nobody really puts that together anymore. It's like people like to call the next generation behind them, like lazy and stuff like that. But look at the generations before us. Really, you could live on you could live a whole family on one income. You can't do that shit anymore. No fucking way.
Every year inflation doubles the
I think it's just a
minimum
generational
wage.
thing. It's like forever going to be that, right? One
Yeah,
blaming
it's just-
somebody.
it's
one
just-
way and-
it's got to be unsustainable at some point because inflation just keeps doubling and like exponentially,
Your buying power.
quadrupling. But minimum, like the amount that you get paid doesn't doesn't increase as fast as inflation does. Let me say that.
Or
It has
CEO.
not- yeah, it hasn't fucking for anybody unless you
Yeah.
usually switch a job and get a big raise that way.
Right.
Right.
They'll probably eventually get to like some sort of universal income situation when
They're trying it out now.
I was saying, it's going to be pretty soon. As soon as these robots are all
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Did you see what Tesla's new thing is? Fucking, he's doing a robot now. That's his
Labor
newest.
is
Like
not
he's
gonna
pushing
be there.
everything into it.
Exactly.
We'll just get paid to, generate revenue on our televisions or some shit.
Hopefully, you'd be able to use your brain and like improve the world some more than just doing work, right? That's like the ideal goal of having robots around.
Well, that's something that you lose sight of anymore. It's like fucking humankind has been around for like 300,000 years, man. The whole concept of a 9 to 5 or anything like that is
Jesus.
relatively recent in fucking relation to that, you know?
That's why I'm trying to learn how to grow my own food and just be self-sufficient and not have to rely on a job.
Guys, don't take my words as gospel. I'm smoking a joint and not an economist. Economic.
Point
Inflation doesn't, because I said
Phenomena.
it doubles every year. I'm just throwing numbers out there. I'm just trying to make a point. That's all.
Hyperbole, guys.
Hyperbole.
Yes, I am sunburnt. Thank you.
I'm resisting the robots. I refuse. I'm not having a robot in my house. For at
I
least
want a
5
Roomba though. That'd be the
No, man.
I
You
want to
me
see
walk
painted ladies'
through the
cats
dog
riding
shit?
around in a Zumba.
Roomba
Dude,
is
dog.
Can you imagine
My
Babe
cat-
rolling into the room on a Zumba meowing at you?
Zumba, I believe, is a aerobics course. I think you're.
Yeah, it is. He's
You mean
definitely
a
Roomba.
Roomba. A Roomba.
Yeah. Yep.
Cats on Roombas.
Oh man, we got enough robots. I wonder what is a robot like? What's the smallest? What's the loosest interpretation? Could our cell phones?
Your cell phone.
So
Anything
I
that's
see what you mean.
mechanical that makes its own decision. Anything that has, well, I would say fuzzy logic, but that's just a
When they
decision.
start saying smart,
that's AI. That's artificial intelligence.
Yeah, but
I was thinking nanobots when you asked your question, Spartan. I was like, oh, they've got robots so small that you can put them in your veins.
Autobots and
stuff.
Decepticons.
Would cell
I'm not
phones
talking about-
in
I
a
meant,
way
like,
make us cyborgs?
Yeah, I was like, you
I meant more-
described it well.
yeah,
Are we,
small-
are we
faster.
cyborgs because we have our cell phones?
yeah, that's what Elon Musk said.
I've heard a good argument for that. Yeah.
At least the initial stages of becoming a cyborg.
I drove to the store today without my cell phone. Does that make me less of a cyborg?
Yeah, you're like
That's kinda
totally
weird.
human.
I was
Well,
like,
you're still operating mechanically, hauling ass in a vehicle that was built by robots. But
to me, I think a cyborg you'd have to be like part of you. Like it's got to be like
Would Google
your
Glasses be? Oh,
within
it
your
has to be
biology.
permanent.
in
Okay.
your body to make you a cyborg, right?
technically, but I mean, I guess that's the loose definition of.
So
like,
Neuralink when they fucking drop Neuralink.
that's for sure
those are
turning you
cyborg.
into a cyborg. Yeah.
But it's like a titanium knee make you a cyborg?
Yeah, I think so. I think Daddy
or not
Red's
because it's
Daddy
not
Red's-
electrified.
no, I think that's bionic.
It's an artificial joint. It's not a machine.
But bionic. I think.
Bionic, maybe, yeah.
This
I always
bionic
think bionics like it
big
making
power.
it like the stuff that they put on you so you can, like, for example, the exoskeleton they can put around you. You can lift like 600 pounds.
Oh
and
yeah,
do things
that's
that no
sweet.
human can do.
Sir Dirty is a bionic arm.
The bionic man.
Does it? Can you? We need like the $6 million man sounds to go along with it, like the. doo, 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 doo.
Yeah.
Red, you could be the Bigfoot. Do you remember that?
What was so funny on that shit was he was supposed to be running like faster than whatever, and they hit it was slow motion. I was like, what the? Why is he in slow motion?
Everything's in slow motion.
I liked Knight Rider.
So did I.
Oh, you're
That's
all
the car
okay.
I was thinking of.
I
was
love
thinking of
that
the Knight
show.
Rider car.
Knight
Trans
Rider
Am.
was the
When I was
shit.
a kid, that was my shit. And then after that came on the one with the helicopter.
Airwolf.
Airwolf. Oh, that was so cool too.
Miami Vice.
I'm glad I missed out on that one.
My
Miami
Vice was some Friday night shit, man.
I missed out
Yep.
on those ones. Yeah. I missed out on the A-Team too.
It's a
I'm
great
bummed
car
about that
show.
one.
Just
I
a
never,
great
I never caught good A-Team episodes.
Smokey and the Bandit.
did miss out because 18 was the shit.
A-Team is just shit. They missed out on like heavy good episodes. I would always catch it at like the very end of the show or some shit because it was always on during the day.
MASH is pretty great. Keizu, good call.
I loved MASH because that was the first show that they let us stay up past our bedtime as kids to watch. It was MASH.
I mean, the fucking
there's
sun was
more-
still up in the summertime. You know, that shit sounded like 8 o'clock at night.
I know,
Sun's
that's
still
when they
up.
would try to make us go to bed at 8
Go to
o'clock.
bed. Come on, man.
There's more episodes of MASH
Right.
than there were Days of the War that happened.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious. I did not know that.
Well, think about it. I think it came on. I think the movie MASH is from 1970, and I think it probably is like 72 or 73 or something when it came on as a series for like 10 years.
You remember Roots, Skilbo?
Back when there used to be a thing called like a mini series, and
We watched that in school.
Did you?
yeah,
Yeah, we just watched that.
Yeah,
in
we
school.
watched it in school. Yep.
What about Swamp Thing?
Yeah.
Remember that
how
one?
about
And to be Swamp Thing and fucking grab my
Swamp Thing was
brother's
great.
legs and shit.
what
and
about
watch-
Toxic Avenger? Huh?
Oh, dude, what
That was
a
pretty rough, man. I don't
creepy
know.
movie.
That's pretty rough. Even the cartoon was pretty terrible, I thought.
GOG disagrees with me for once. He's not feeling it, man.
Toxic Avenger was hilarious.
He would like to go to bed.
Was jumping out the like window. Just jumps out the window. Kids are bullying him and shit. That was just the worst acting ever.
That's the whole concept of an 80s movie, dude. Like
Why-
Porky's is never going to get nominated for a fucking
There's-
Screen Actors Guild
There-
award.
there's a dumpster. There's just a dumpster of toxic waste pulled up next to the high school. Like,
Hey, a common stealth grower says y'all old as hell with Time Warner. Bro, I'm so old that I remember when it was Time and separately Warner. So yeah, there you go.
Was there ever separately Hanna Barbera?
No, Joseph Hannibal. Yeah.
Oh, they're both together. And that was some
William
awesome-
Barbera. Yeah, they fucking made a lot of cartoons, man. That's their
yes,
claim to fame
Taco.
was Scooby Doo.
That's good shit.
Yes to Gilligan's Island.
Oh,
That was my
Scooby-Doo.
jam.
Oh my God!
Gilligan's
If we
Island.
played Gilligan's Island down here, you know how this would all end up. You know who people would end up being.
That was my jam. dude.
Sequence practice saying "lovey" for me.
Do I gotta hold my
You could be
tongue?
Thurston Howell the third.
That's fucking hilarious.
Pip. Pip.
I
Does
thought-
that
I
make
got-
me what's her face then?
yeah, you're
That makes you,
Mrs.
what-
Howell?
yeah, Mrs. Howell.
I'm calling Professor. I want to be Professor.
You have to be because you know me and Red. We got to be the Skipper and Gilligan.
Sparkus
Yeah,
wants to be
that's
the
Skilbo.
stud.
Come on, little buddy.
I didn't really consider
See?
him good. If I wanted to be anybody, I always thought fucking Skipper was the baddest motherfucker there. I like Skipper. He was my dude.
You're totally Skipper, Skilbo.
There it is.
Yep.
The casting call has been made.
And Red is Gilligan.
The
Well,
The
no,
many
you didn't
lives
say
of
the
Toby
second one.
Gillis.
the Irish setter that I grew up with, his name was Skipper.
Becca, you
Say
can only be
Gilligan.
Ginger or Mary Ann? Which one? Are you more of a Ginger or more of a Mary Ann?
She's a ginger.
She's very practical.
More of a Ginger? Okay. There you go.
Can I
That's-
be honest? I don't know the characters.
I was just
It's
going to
so
say
old.
she probably has no idea what
I'm
we're
sorry.
talking
So
about.
Ginger was a redheaded movie star, and then Mary Ann was a brunette, wore pigtails, and was like a country girl.
So pretty polar opposites, yeah.
Very, yeah, that was the whole dynamic.
Interesting.
Guys
gonna refrain.
either said that they were a Marianne or a Ginger girl. Guys, I think there for a while.
Ginger was very
That's not-
Marilyn Monroe vibes.
That's the PC thing to say around everybody and your mom and everything, but
Exactly.
when there's no women around, it's like any fucking movie, any fucking show, they'll say, "Oh yeah, I liked her over her." But if you want, you know, that's the easy thing is, "Oh, you Marianne and Ginger," and that's the
I
safe.
mean,
Mm.
we could rewrite the song so it'd be like, sit right back in here.
Oh, wait, who was the-
show?
Who was the older lady? Mrs. Howell.
Mrs. Howell.
Mrs. Howell.
Red, we talked about that. 3
Yeah,
minutes
we already
ago.
established that.
We already established Mrs. Howell. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Y'all can eat a dick.
Well, we didn't
I
talk
know
about how
Miss
old she was
Howell.
until just now.
I definitely didn't say you were Mrs. Howell.
Fuck y'all.
Oh, man.
No, I would say Painted Lady would probably be Ginger on that show. No
I
way.
don't know.
Mrs. Howell fits her.
Yeah, Becca's more of the
What
Marianne.
am I
Marianne.
more of?
Marianne.
Careful. Tread
more?
carefully, my
Careful,
friend.
Red.
Little
I'm
buddy.
trying. I'm trying. It's been so long since I've seen the show.
Okay.
It's been at least 20 years.
She's
Maynard
gonna
G.
go watch it and
Krebs.
see exactly what you think of her, Red.
Yeah, there you go.
I used to love that show. Oh, and the Munsters. Yeah, the
Oh,
Munsters.
yeah, the Munsters.
Oh,
is
yeah,
great.
Western Monsters.
Little Eddie Munster.
See, it's funny you say these things and people instantly start plugging you into the roles. So Red already in that one is going to be what the fuck was the kid's name?
But Grandpa, dude.
Eddie.
Eddie Munster. There you go.
I'll be Eddie. I got a widow's peak.
I used to have that same haircut, slick straight back. When I was
The
about
hard widow's peak. Yeah.
We've got chat
Yeah,
asking who
Red.
Baked would be.
There.
in what, the Monsters?
I don't know.
Lurch.
I don't even remember all the characters in the Monsters. What'd you say?
You
Lurch.
Lurch.
You rang.
Yeah. It's not even the Monsters. That's what Adam's Family.
Oh, same here.
The
They had a
Monsters were like
Frankenstein looking
the
dude too, didn't they?
funnier Adam's Family, I guess.
A Frankenstein. Yeah, that's Herman.
Herman.
And then there's Grandpa Munster. You could do the
Grandpa.
Adams Family. So you could be Morticia and fucking Gomez.
Lurch and
Could be the guy
Red
from
Red could be
Goonies.
cousin It in the
I
Adams
was thinking
Family.
the same thing. I was thinking, you know, I'd let the hair go. Be a cousin in
is
there.
in it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Ah,
Good
shit.
Halloween costume. There we go.
I
Yeah.
love Halloween. Halloween
I
is
was
fun.
Dracula. I don't know. how
Halloween
many
is the
times.
best fucking holiday of the year, man.
That
It's the
is
one you have the most
harvest.
fun on.
That is the harvest season. We're
Yeah.
in planting season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that time.
Dude,
We
we
have a
just
bunch of seeds to pop that we keep forgetting to pop. We should probably get on popping.
Man,
Yeah.
my soil is so good though. Yesterday we went through and did some yard work, and I always spread, instead of cleaning off all my leaves and bagging them all up for the fall, I always spread them all out on my flower beds and everything. And then that way the animals have like bedding and stuff, and then it keeps my soil really nice and kind of covered and warm, and all my plants nice and protected and everything. And man, I took those leaves off there, and there's so many worms, and the soil's all nice and black. And man,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good garden year this year.
oh yeah.
Excited for what my flowers look like. It's going to be beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's nice seeing everything start coming back, with the springtime.
The
Even when you're
leaves.
just driving around. It's
Mhm.
really much better for the mood. A lot more uplifting to see things start to grow.
I've done more
Red, I
yard
saw
work.
you're doing some hugel beds, some new ones.
You.
What?
Huh?
I didn't
You
put
can,
any
huh?
log-
You can hear, bro.
I didn't put any logs in them, but I did make
Oh,
new
okay.
beds. I made new no-till beds. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't.
With the cardboard laid out.
Yeah,
and
I laid
grass
out
clippings and
cardboard.
stuff.
Like
All that.
3 big ones.
I'd say the most time-consuming part was cleaning the cardboard, and the other one is aerating the bed. So when you lay out your plot, if you have like compacted soil and shit like that, if you can get a broad fork, they're a couple $100 for a good broad fork, but they're like 18 inches, 2 feet wide, and it's like this nice digging pitchfork type thing that you can like lift up a nice chunk of soil. I just use a pitchfork. I mean, this thing's fucking 8 inches wide at best. I mean, it's a little tiny pitchfork, but it's durable and it's strong. And I've made all of my beds for many, many years out of this thing, and it's held up long enough right now for me to get through the last of this yard. But yeah, you dig in and you just lift up the soil, so like you kind of like aerate it a little bit, and it'll set itself here and it'll eventually work its way down. But you're kind of like, you're not flipping the sod, right? You're not breaking the soil structure. You're not tilling it all up and working it all up and digging it in.
you don't want to kill those hyphae you spent so much time trying to get in there and grow.
Exactly. So I'm just lifting, I'm just giving a little aeration. So that's the bed, and then I've inoculated it with some compost, just some box store shit that I got, some worm casting mix, organic worm casting mix. Let's see here, some azomite and I do this mix where I like take play sand, azomite, and oyster shell mix to get like a bunch of trace minerals and things like that mixed up, and I use the play sand and stuff as kind of like a filler, just so I can spread it further, because there's like a lot in that. Like azomite, you don't want to use a lot of it. So like I'm trying to use just enough, So I use sand and shit to kind of add more trace minerals, of course. And I'll sprinkle in a little bit of sand, and then let's see, some BioLive, some kelp meal.
Damn sure on the BioLive,
Neem meal, just for some additional.
That helps for nitrogen
NPK.
too.
Yeah. Try and get a little bit of NPK on there. And then the cardboard comes in, and that's pretty much a weed suppression. That's grass and weeds because I'm laying it on a lawn. So the cardboard comes in to help do that, and it adds a carbon source. And then the lasagna technique comes in where you're layering grass, and that kind of helps hold down the cardboard, but also, I threw in some more compost on top, and, it helps just kind of cover the compost for the microbiology left. You want to wet everything down, right? And there's another thing with laying this. If you're on a slope, you know how you lay shingles so that the water runs off, right? Shingles are like this, so the water goes over. You want to actually lay it like this on a slope so that the water goes under. Okay, if the water were coming down, the water goes under. So you want an opposite shingle when you're laying your cardboard. That's kind of a certain technique, or else you'll lose all your water. It won't absorb into your bed. So you kind of want to make sure you stack your cardboard a certain way. But otherwise, you just kind of keep stacking. I had a huge painted lady. Speaking of all the leaves, I had this great big bed. I took all my leaf from last fall, right? I didn't have enough time. My lawnmower broke on me. My wheels were falling off and shit like that. For you. Badass. Okay.
Take a break.
This is a chance for us to say, if you're not in live chat right now, make sure that you toggle over to that. And while you're at it, we'll take a thumbs up.
I had all those leaves and chopped them bad boys up. They were all halfway decomposed, a quarter, third way decomposed.
No, really is there still moisture in them?
Oh yeah, they were like mostly just the top. I mean, dude, this pile was 3 feet tall. It was huge. It was smashed up between like my fence and my house, in this corner of another garden bed that I'm working on. So I'm just like, I'll just leave it there for the winter. I'll let it do its thing, break down, and then I pulled it out and I ran it over with the fucking lawnmower a whole bunch of times, and I got enough off of that thing to cover the entire fucking thing. I've been doing the lawnmower method for years, dude. That lawnmower has been more
full of Rick.
Been more of a fucking wood chipper than anything. And yeah, leaf mulch that helps weigh it down. That's gonna add some fungal, and then more grass clippings. And then I'm just going to keep adding grass clippings until it's all gone. I'm going to plant into it. I'll plant into it soon.
Well, it's starting to break down already in there,
Yeah. I don't really want to give it teas and shit with the cardboard, as like a hard surface, because I don't want the tea to just roll off the cardboard if the cardboard gets like dry or anything like that. So I'm going to wait a little bit, and then I'm going to start hitting it with some teas. It's dandelion season, man. Get out there and start plucking those dandelions.
So what do I want? Do I want the whole tops and the stems, or
I took a little bit of everything? I took some root.
Man, the roots are really dry those roots out and then chop them up real fine. First wash them off, then dry them out, chop them up real fine, and you got tea. You can just fucking make tea out of that. It's just full of micronutrients because that's what the dandelions do. That's why the roots do that.
They're heavy, yeah. I tossed the whole roots in a bucket, and I have some yarrow. Yeah, I chopped up some yarrow and some burdock too. Burdock, yarrow. Burdock's got a deep root.
Yeah.
Burdock spreads like crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
I gotta figure out what that shit is, man. I got this new property, so I'm like, I've got a fucking 1,000 different trees and plants and all kinds of shit, but I'm city stupid. So like I have to go, what is this? But I have it into my mind. I'm like, well, if it's green, like super green, and it's growing right now, then it's probably really fucking bursting with fucking energy. So if I'm able to, like you said, Red, you ran it over with a lawnmower. I pulled all my clover and then ripped it up into pieces and threw it on top of my pots.
Yeah.
Google Lens is a lifesaver for that, man.
I love it, man. Let's go.
Anything in your yard, you can just identify it in 2 seconds. It's amazing.
Now, see, there's my boomer
Lens.
showing, man.
Oh,
I
oh,
We'll
gotta
walk
get hit
through the
with that.
neighborhood and be like, "That's a cool plant. What's that?" Bam! This is what it is, and then you remember that and look for them or whatever.
Yep.
I always try just taking the photo. Someone said just like take the photo and the image, and I can never figure it out.
Same.
Google Lens. Sounds right.
You have to
Lens.
have that.
Yeah, but it came with
Google
a phone. I think you have to have.
I don't
one
think
of
it's
those
on
phones.
Apple.
Oh, okay.
It's not an iPhone thing, yeah, for sure.
Pixel.
I know
Oh,
there
okay.
are some apps that you can get, but I don't know how
I
accurate.
think iNaturalist is a good one. iNaturalist is a real good one. I think it is.
That's what Green Goblin just says. Same like you said it, and then boop, it pops up in chat.
There
Yeah.
it is. Yep.
Sounds very handy, actually. There's
That's asking me how do I chop up roots. I went to a thrift shop and got an old food processor, which means it actually can cut through shit, and that's what I use.
That's a
But, I
pro
mean,
tip right there.
All kinds
'Cause,
of things, man.
dude, I'm an old chef, so I have a fucking multiple chef blades, and just pull that out, get my cutting board that I have for the garden, and just chopped it all up like that.
Oh yeah, that worked.
Yours is easier.
When they're dry, they do get pretty tough, but they'll last forever too. I mean, that's something you could put in a fucking mason jar and sip on it all fucking winter.
Mm-hmm. I want to try to make some kind of
Fucking
FPJ or
dandelion.
something this year.
Pop that dandelion off and just put it in your fucking mouth. That's so fucking good eating. So are the greens. The greens you can throw in salad. You find them in salads in the store.
That's what I'm doing right now, Scoble. You gotta do it now while the dandelions are still good. We get them bad boys. Fill up a bucket with them and just fill it with water and let that sucker sit for a week.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna pour. So I got a 5-gallon bucket filled with this
You won't eat a kangaroo, but you'll eat
Plant.
a dandelion.
plant concoction. I
Yeah.
was eating petals the other day.
Yeah,
A plant eater.
The
Camel life,
5-gallon
baby, camel.
bucket's gonna sit for a week with the
That's what I
yarrow
voted
and the
for, too,
burdock
so-
and the dandelion.
Me too.
And then I'm gonna screen it and pour it into my 50-gallon brewer, and I'm just gonna mix it with water and some compost, and then I'm just gonna water it into the garden. I'm not gonna brew it or anything. I'm just gonna water it in. I'm just making extract.
Yeah.
So
They
probably
call those teas too. I don't know.
yeah, it's some sort of a tea. I mean, I might add a little molasses to it, and I might bubble it for the afternoon. You know, get it all mixed up and get it kind of started. And knowing me, I might just do a full 36-hour run, and sounds better that way. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
You know, I used to really
I
be
would
big
work
on that.
that.
The Tad Hussey, if you guys are interested in teas, Tad Hussey has a couple of podcasts for that, the Kiss Organics, and he talks about teas and things. One of my issues is I've always noticed, you know, and it's anecdotal, of course, my way, but when I made a tea in the past and I would add it to my plants, they would fucking look great within like the next morning I would come in and everything would be praying and happy and super green and stuff. But you should really do a test, and you really should have like a microscope, and you should be able to take a sample of it so that you can see what kind of life and stuff you have in there. But it's just like that's a step further than where I'm at. So,
and you just reminded me of why I'm not going to brew it up, because I'm working with an anaerobic fucking batch of funk water.
funk water. I
I'm
think
not
that
gonna
was
brew
that.
it.
Would that be considered a leachate?
Yeah, actually, yeah. It's just
No,
just a simple extract.
Yeah.
If I
I'm not
brew
sure.
if I brew it without a microscope, I'm risking a lot because I'm working with a big pile of anaerobic water. Plant matter that's just sitting in a bucket of water without oxygen for a week is not going to
Steeping.
be. Yeah, I'm actually just going to dilute it down 10-1 and.
Well, you
water it
could
in my
do
garden.
that this time, and then the next watering you could come through with your brew, with your castings, and you know, like you said, if we want to add a sugar source for the microbes,
Yeah,
you could
I'd
do
rather
that.
do that with just castings. It's
Just
a
do it.
little safer to just
Yeah,
run
red.
it
I wouldn't brew anything. I would just put
top
it
dress
in
and water through.
55-gallon drum of water and jam all the fucking dandelions you want in. You can keep adding dandelions throughout the whole fucking year and just take scoops off that water and fucking dilute it like you said. dilute it with your water and just water it a little bit at a time, and it gets better with time. It's like a ferment.
Yeah.
Ferment
right.
there.
I don't
Yeah,
like fucking with the brewing.
It'll just be getting better and better and better, and you can just leave it outside because the heat's just going to help it, and you don't have to worry about anaerobic because that's what ferments do. You know, it's just it's breaking everything down, making it plant available, but you don't need a lot, like 1 to a. I don't even know what the ratios are. I got them over here somewhere, but it's like 1 to 100 or something once it's a couple years old. But once it's at the beginning, you can do like 1 to 30, 1 to 40. But as the brew gets, or as the ferment gets more concentrated and better, basically age, the more you kind of dilute it because it becomes more, what would you call it, potent.
I think it becomes acidic. I think stuff turns into vinegar and alcohol and shit like that.
Not when you keep, not when you're fermenting, you just keep adding more to it the whole time and keep the process going.
No, that I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's above my pay grade for science. A Green Goblin mentions it's JDOM. Yes.
There you go. Yeah, Green Goblin. Yep, exactly. There you go. Thank you. JDOM liquid fertilizer.
The first time I ever learned about that, I was watching some, what's his name? Is it Chris Trump?
Yeah. Good. Well, his was more KNF, but yeah, then
he is KNF, right? But he does touch on.
He uses sugar. He uses sugar to
fruits.
He does 1 part plant material and 1 part sugar, which could be a lot of sugar if you're working with a lot of plant material. You know, so that's that's kind of the reason I don't mess with all that, just because I don't have that much land I'm working with. Kind of keep rodents, varmints, and or sourcing a bunch of sugar. That's more cost. Just going to use water.
You could avoid the whole thing. What you could do if you don't want to run any risks is you can take those same dandelions and throw them in the food processor like Spartan did, and then we can add that as a top dress with our earthworm castings. We don't have to bubble anything, and then we're watering through it. It's also a way for you to have kind of it's not just a one-time thing. If you put a tea in, that's all you're going to do. But as you're watering through the castings themselves, you know what I mean? They're still knocking things off as the water's going over them.
That's actually why I like making my beds this time of year too. If I'm making new beds and I'm using new mulch, like grass clippings and shit like that, because the dandelions and all that shit are popping, and there's actually like apple blossom petals and shit everywhere. So like all that stuff ends up in my grass clippings. You know what I mean? Dandelions and all that shit, and then that ends up in the garden bed. You know?
Yeah, you're already top. I was gonna say I have 2 tips for a large amount of plant material chop up. Push more with a bagger. You just lay the shit down on the ground and run it over with a push mower, or that's my favorite thing. Or you can take a trash
with a weed eater,
and a weed eater. Especially if you get one of those heads that has the plastic blades almost, then you can chop up sticks and shit too. You just stick them all in that fucking trash can and then put your weed eater inside it and just beats the hell out of them.
Oh.
But the drier the drier you can make it, the easier the stuff chops up for sure.
Been trying to source a wood chipper like crazy. I keep getting these coupons, and it was like, oh, $100 off coupon, and there's like none in the store.
Are you looking for what, like the real big, the ones that can do real big diameter?
Yeah, this one does like a 3 or 4 inch diameter, but I don't even need it for that big. I mean, mostly just brush, you know, leaves and shit like that. You know, I just want brush mulcher.
That's what I was using. A friend of mine had an old thing, and it was called like a branch wizard or some shit, and all it was just a spinning like a grinding gear thing, and you just throw branches in there and it kind of shreds them up and just top dress everything with it.
Harbor Freight has one. I mean, it just damn thing wasn't in stock, but I had a coupon. I was gonna go pick it up, and the damn thing wasn't in stock. It was $100 off, so I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna use this coupon because they had one a couple months ago, but I missed out on it. I'm like, damn, well, I'm gonna have it on Mother's Day, right? Man, sure enough, they had another one. You know,
there's so many mornings at 5:30 in the morning that I'd be sitting on my little roller bench in the flower room, and I'd take the last plant's harvest after all of the branches and shit had dried up, and I would sit there and snip those into like 1-inch pieces. And it just got to the point where it was like a fucking chore, man. So for anybody that's in a red state, you may want to think about getting one of those because it's also a great way to dispose of everything. So you can grind up all that. You don't have to worry about like, man, I got to find a dumpster where I can dump this shit, or I don't want to put this in my trash or anything like that. Plus, it's nice to reuse it all. There's already energy that the plant pulled from the ground. So as you put it back on top, it's going to be able to reintroduce to the bed is my thinking.
Yeah, I definitely want to chop up all my stems and shit. All my stuff ends up going straight into the garden. Fortunate enough to have a yard big enough to take all of my garden waste and put it all back into the garden, like indoor garden waste, and put it all into the outdoor garden.
You should have a bokashi bucket if you have, like a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables that you're using. Get one of those started in the house and use that as part of your top dress as well.
Oh boy.
Is it scary?
There's just so many compost piles.
Different things going on. Yeah.
I gotta check on our worms. Got cold a couple weeks ago.
James, we did check out the new
I
Kendrick.
sent it to you.
Skilbo sent it to me, and I listened to it with Painted Lady.
Oh.
The new album supposedly this Friday.
Yes.
Excited for that. Should be good. Kendrick's the man.
Let me open this up to chat. If any of you have any questions on anything that we can talk about as far as growing, let us know and we'll kick it around.
As far as growing lettuce,
Growing whatever.
Tomatoes, I believe, is the classic nomenclature.
Yes.
tomatoes.
I'm gonna be growing those orange jazz ones.
Yeah. Well, there you go then.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you going to run any of those crazy sunflowers outside?
Not yet. I'm hoping that they come up soon. At least a few of them. I mean, because I planted a shitload of those seeds. The Mexican sunflowers, which are the smaller ones, but they have a ton of different shoots. And then
those ones are crazy looking.
yeah, I loved them. I really, really liked them. So I'm hopeful that they come up this year. But Diamond is really enjoying going over there and running around and looking for squirrels. So we'll see. See if they come up.
So we're not talking about iron toxicity then.
Yeah, no, it's orange jazz.
Okay, good.
Tomato. I'm looking forward to. I misspoke there. Freudian slip.
Good old Freud.
But yeah, I have those, and I have Granny. I can't say this either. Granny Cantrell.
Oh, I don't know what that one is.
Yeah, I've never seen those either. Those are another Baker Creek. And then I have my green zebras that I've grown before, which are really cool looking.
Let's see if I can do this.
There's so many cool
I
ass
can't think of
fucking-
the other ones I have. Oh, those bumblebee ones. Those little tiny ones that Noob was growing last year, I think. So those will be pretty cool too.
The other side's way cooler.
Oh yeah, Baker Creek.
Oh, well, the other side is way cooler. This
Oh,
doesn't
hell
show
yeah.
address.
That's
This
their.
is the Granny Cantrells were given to Letty Cantrell from a World War II soldier returning home from Germany. They're beefsteak type tomatoes that weigh up to 2 pounds.
Oh shit!
Won best in taste a bunch of times.
So we're talking BLTs now.
Yeah.
Hell
It's a
yeah.
big fleshy tomato.
Cobb
Love
sandwich and all that
tomato.
other shit. Yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to it this growing season. Everything is green and all my flowers are coming up. I'm excited.
I almost forget what I got from Baker Creek.
I've got so many seed packs sitting on my fucking kitchen table. I still haven't planted any yet.
I was pulling up all the leaves and everything out of my flower beds, and one of my sedum plants kind of like, I don't know, it sprouted and rooted somewhere else. So I gave it to Sequence's daughter, and I was like, here, go over there and plant this over there by that eggshell where that eggshell's laying. And she just was kind of like, where? And then after I was like, go use that little fork thing and then dig a hole over there by the fence and then plant it in there and then just cover it up. Okay. And then she planted it right on top of a perennial.
Oh.
They hadn't come up yet. And I just laughed. And I was like, good job. You know,
that's a good spot.
That's where she chose to put it, and we'll see. So we'll see which plant wins out. The one underneath it or the one she planted.
Yeah, survival of the fittest.
That's funny.
But yeah,
The
I don't
best
know.
gardening.
Not everybody likes gardening. Yeah. So
Baker Creek sent me these ones for free. I don't know what the hell this is.
ooh, that looks like some kind of radish.
Is Mizuna?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. It looks like
Maybe
a
celery?
celery stalked type of arugula leafy green or something. Some zucchini.
Because it's a leafy green vegetable native
Bok
to East
choy.
Asia.
Boy. I'm excited for this radish. It's similar to
China jade.
Oh yeah.
a daikon. But
What's the
Yeah, but
flavor
not as
on that
big.
one? Is it milder?
yeah, I think it's a little milder. It's a 60-day. So, it doesn't really say.
I love
I'm
radishes.
guessing it's mild, and then just some onions. But it's onion season. Get those fuckers going. It's basically everything season right now. Zinnia's got to go in the ground. Zinnia, sunflower, echinacea, and all that shit has to get planted.
It was 70 today.
In the guy.
My sage is already coming up. My
Oh
sage,
man, it's beautiful.
my thyme is already coming up.
How big of an area do you have for your herb garden? It doesn't
right
take up
now-
much room, does it?
I don't have I just made it bigger this year, so I'm still working on making it bigger, but I put the border up around, just a bunch of sticks and shit. So because everything's getting bigger, especially sage got huge last year, and then the thyme is spreading out good. There used to be strawberries in there. There might be one or two left. I don't know. And then the echinacea is going nuts too. So I'll probably put some more stuff in there this year. It's like the stuff that I got to put out every year, like rosemary that doesn't survive the winter, and the annoyance like chamomile and that kind of
Wish
stuff.
rosemary would.
Me too.
It's
I'm
kinda
putting
like-
a pot. I'm gonna do pots, probably a lot of pots this year, and then bring them inside once it starts getting cold.
It'd be nice to be able to bring them in and hold on to them and then take them back out.
Yeah, and then take them back, put them outside. So that's my
Mhm.
plan. I want to try that.
I got some potatoes already popping. I planted some potatoes probably a couple weeks ago. They're coming up. Carrots, a lot of radishes popping up. Radishes popping up everywhere. Beets, got some beets popping up. I did a bunch of spring sowing probably 2 weeks ago, and that was right before our last little chilled freeze. And I don't think we're gonna get another freeze, guys. I think we're
I fucking
south,
hope not, bro. Man.
south of like the thumb. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm thinking we might be all right.
We're almost to
so.
our last frost date, and there's nothing in the weather. Well, there's nothing in the weather going
Definitely gonna be
Weather.
The weather.
weather to weather. Yeah, not below 40.
I'm just glad that my crabapple tree bloomed this year because it's so beautiful when it blooms.
Smells good too. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Sniffing the air today. I was like, is that pesticides in the air? And then I was looking, I was
No,
like,
it's tree pollen, bro. It's
like,
everywhere. It's tree
a whole
pollen.
bunch of trees. That's what it is. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, no, it's all these pollen trees. I'm like, whoa.
Tree jizzing everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
So high and tight. It's been a little while ago now. And chat asked if you guys heard of tree tubes. I think he called them, or not tree tubes, worm tubes. And it's like they put these PVC tubes or whatever tubes down in the beds, and then throw their kitchen scraps in it. And then there's holes they drill holes in the side that's submerged in the ground, and then the native worm's supposed to go, and sometimes they'll add worms, and then they just compost basically in this tube.
Mm.
I'm not a huge
Interesting.
fan of that because I just know it's going to attract fucking animals. If you're throwing food in there.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of throwing food in my garden.
Well,
The animals will come and dig shit up.
I've used that in my worm bin to try to get them to migrate into that. So you have to wait until they extinguish and exhaust everything else that's in there. And then you can take like a styrofoam takeout cup or something like that and punch some holes in it and put some shit in it, and they'll end up in there.
I say, why use the tube instead of just top dressing with most of the same stuff and throwing worms in there in the first place?
Yeah.
Well,
The build a soil site build a soil site says is that, you know, when you're trying to set up your pots and stuff, that you should add, you know, a handful of worms to your pots and let them work on that too.
Small,
I don't
localized.
mind the worms, but I'm still not a big fan of big anaerobic pieces of fucking food and shit like that. I'm cool with composting. I do it myself, but I don't compost on my plants.
Yeah, I wouldn't put food scraps in there.
Yeah, I wait for compost to be done, then I throw them on the plants.
Well, it's like the avocado tag. So
Yeah,
ostensibly it is a food scrap. But
yeah, I'm not a big fan of avocado tag. I've never done it though, so I can't really say yay or nay. It's just for the same reasons. I'm not a big fan of dealing with decaying food on my stuff.
Makes sense.
That's me. I'm
Damn it.
sorry.
Oh, someone's
What was
calling.
bum, 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 bum. We are 4 minutes from hash time, everybody.
My
So,
grandma's radio was on.
I was trying to get the chat, and yeah, never mind. You got me, or you got it. So never mind. It's all good. Chat's been rescued. I see the chat. We have the StreamYard, or whatever this thing is. StreamYard. Yeah, that's it. We have this chat, and I would try.
you can't answer in this chat.
I can't.
We can just
like,
see it.
Can't go after anything. I can't do any limiting or wrenching. Sorry, Becca.
Sorry.
I wasn't even looking at the viewer. I just pushed her out of view. I was actually just trying to like OCD straighten the computer because it wasn't straight with the keyboard. So
Because it wasn't straight
Cut
with the
her right
keyboard,
out
as
of
if
the
that's
picture.
like all we need to know. Yeah.
Remember DOG, guys.
if I move the keyboard now,
The apple never falls far.
yeah, now the keyboard is not straight with the edge of the table, so it's all unparalleled.
Still thinking about it, guys.
Could move the keyboard.
No, now it's I did, but now it's unparalleled with the desk. So now it's
Are you facing which cardinal
not gonna
direction
look
are you
at it.
facing?
Awkward, like
Okay.
Awkward is the cardinal direction.
So feng
northwest.
shui is yeah.
Yeah, an awkward northwest right now. Should be facing southeast or northeast. I like northeast. I prefer northeast.
Common stealth grower says, when running a cultivar that's new to you in your garden, are you going straight to a pheno hunt or just looking to try for 1 or 2 moms before dedicating space and time to one line?
Pheno hunt.
I agree.
Well, if you're holding 1 or 2 things, you don't have to make a final decision as soon as you pop it. A good example is in the beginning when Sequence was holding more than one of the citral glues. You know, it was, okay, we're going to hold them and then we're going to let those cure. We're going to taste them and see what we like and then grow them again and then make our selection from there. I don't know if that's an answer.
I'd call that different than momming, probably,
Yeah.
but maybe that's just words. But I like to pheno hunt a pack and then see what's going to be the keeper. But that includes keeping a copy of all those plants the whole time until
Right.
you've decided. So I mean, if you call that momming, I guess you could take several rounds of clones off of them in the amount of time it takes, maybe a run or two.
The other thing is we're coming up on hash time, but realize that your first run, you don't have to grow these humongous, like Painted Lady and I like to grow really tall plants and veg. You just want to get them enough so that you can flip them and then flower them and make a decision. You're not trying to get a huge yield off them typically, because that's where you run into a lot of times and things get backed up in your garden. And with that, it's hash time. Cheers, everyone.
Hash time.
I'll figure out how to play the song again eventually.
Boom,
I've got a
boom,
new
boom,
problem with it now that my computer's here.
boom, boom,
It's always
boom,
something.
boom, boom. Bubbly, 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 bubbly.
Maybe we should just record Red and we can just play that back.
Boo-doo, boo, boo, boo-doo, boo-doo.
Shout out
Bubbly,
to
bubbly,
Catachronic.
bubbly, bubbly.
Uncle
Yeah.
Rick wants that song.
Absolutely. Uncle Rick, you need a theme song.
Bubbly, 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 bubbly.
Could be the. Never mind.
Is that the noise of the bong water?
Yeah, that was the noise of the pond water.
Oh, bubbly,
Bubbly, bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. Okay, I'll keep talking about the garden, I guess. If you want me to. What else? What else is going outside? Cannabis. We got a bunch of hemp seeds sprouted. But I want to put some blueberry green room crosses out there for a male. And then I think I'm going to put some old moms out there this year. Just kind of do a little pollination thing again this year.
Interesting.
Sweet.
So you're going to do like a green room flow?
It would be a green room blueberry flow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm liking the blueberry. I want to do a blueberry. I want to see what the female is. I'm gonna go see what the female is. But I'm thinking just because of the genetic line.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think I want.
Are you taking Grape Ape back outside?
Grape Ape is gone.
Gone. Okay.
Goner. Last year was the last run of Grape Ape.
Any Granddaddy green rooms?
Granddaddy green rooms. I'm not popping those seeds. Green rooms.
Okay.
That's what I have going, and I had 10 or 11 of them going.
And that is
There's
the
11.
There's
auto.
11. AC/DC auto. Yeah. Nice.
That was one
cross.
of the very first CBD strains that I ever remember hearing about.
I'm excited to funk with it, man. Put it in the rest of the stuff. Although I'm also thinking about pulling a male from this ECSD.
That's the East Coast Sour Diesel.
Yeah, one of these cross. I don't know, man. We'll see. I'd rather stick in this CBD line. Try to do something full spectrum. And I think that's where I think the medicine's going to be at. So I think I can find some good 1-to-1 genetics. I mean, a great 1-to-1 flow would be awesome. Be fantastic. So yeah, I think I might try to fuck with one of these green room cross. Maybe even keep one of these males and just keep rocking the green room male.
Okay.
This would be maybe a F2, I think. Well, it's F1 at my garden, but F2 on the line. From
Painted
Best
Lady,
Coast Genetics.
have you made a decision on if you're going to use any of the new seeds that you got, any of the autos?
Outside, probably. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to run the strawberry one. Of course, I can't remember what the oh damn, it's in the other room. My list, but I think it's the strawberry one I'm looking at running. So
Somebody on chat will tell us what it is.
yeah, it'll be interesting. I've never run an auto, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
God, shout out to Dankovich. He sent me some seeds. I got some seeds that and there are a lot of crosses. So it's like a blue dream Santa Cruz cut cross with CBD.
Oh shit! Now that could be money, bro.
I know. I'm excited about that. That's probably the one. That's the one that I probably will pop before any of the others. Although there's another one too. He sent me some fucking how can I not? There, cherry wine. He sent me some cherry wine seeds. So
Yeah, I'm
that's
excited
what
about
I'm
those
excited
too.
about. And then some GG4 crossed CBD, and then there's I don't know. I put it on my story. On my story, there's like 4 or 5 seed packs, but I was super stoked to see those. And I also got some cherry wine flour to extract, so that's gonna be cool.
Have you decided on what you're going to use in your rotovap first? Like, what's your first
Yeah,
inaugural run going to be?
Yeah, my first run, I've already mostly through it. I'm actually got to filter some more. I got 2 more bags to filter out that I want to run through it, but it's like a master mix. So I did I did soakings of multiple high THC cultivars, and then I also did some doing some CBD. I'm gonna run it all together so it mixes all together and homogenize
Yeah,
it.
man.
And then once I pull all that alcohol off, I'm going to get that tested so I can see. But I'm hoping that it's going to have, I'm guessing it's probably still going to be probably 3-to-1, 2-to-1. It's not going to be 1-to-1, but
it doesn't have to be though to get the benefits.
Right, but it's going to have some CBD in there, so it should be interesting to see how that translates in like the high or medicinal effects or any of that stuff.
I'm looking forward to the R&D side of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun playing with that rotovap anyway. I'd sit there just watch it for hours. So I can just sit there and watch it literally for hours, just run. It's so cool to sit there and watch.
It's just a slow, gradual. Well, you can change how quick the rotation.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I ran it just. I was playing with it today a little bit, and I'm just, I don't have a manual, so I'm teaching myself. So today, I think is what it was I was feeding it way too slow because I was thinking that I didn't want to have too much of the solvent in there at once. But I think that if I would put more of the solvent in there, it would have heated up the temperature faster and then held the temperature faster and evaporated quicker. So I'm going to try that the next time and see, fill it a little bit faster and see if it the whole process runs faster or not. Because there's a happy medium because I'm cooling with dry ice and I only have so much dry ice.
Right.
So
shout out to Myers for the dry ice hookup.
Yeah, exactly. Like $4 a pound. And so but yeah, so like if you increase like the evaporation, then it's going to start eating dry ice pretty quick too, because that's what's cooling down that evaporated. So it's one of those happy medium things because you don't want to get to the point to where you're evaporating a bunch of alcohol off and you don't have anything cooling it down, because then those vapors are going to get sucked into your vacuum and fuck your vacuum up, your vacuum pump. So yeah, you just got, it's just a thing.
Does it feel like science now though to you? Like,
yeah, it definitely looks way more science. I'm dealing with beakers and shit.
We got to get you one of those white coats. Like, what's that dude's name? Harley of NPK.
Yeah, Harley.
Yeah, you need the lab coat, man.
Yeah. No, I don't want no lab coat. Maybe a
Dr. Spartan, I presume.
Right now, I've just been eyeballing. I want a sturdier table for it because I'm nervous.
Right.
It's like, man, that's a lot of money.
Is it in the same space as the other one? That corner, you can just build a table up there for it, or
no,
is this like way bigger?
No, I just put up a fold-up table and it's sitting on that right now. So it's still, the table will hold, I don't know, a couple hundred pounds. So I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I'd like to have something wood and not tippy. But I'm happy with it. I'll be fucking with it for a while now.
It looks all sciencey. That's about all I know about it. Is I was looking at all the beakers and all the things and tubes and stuff, and I'm like, man, that thing looks really legit.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see you use it.
Thanks. What's exciting for me is that it's all modular, right? All those glass things are sold separately. So if something breaks or goes bad, or I could just replace it myself and be up and running again instead of having to send a whole unit to.
Yeah, you're like, I'd love to do a run, but I can't because I don't have this stupid fucking seal that goes around this damn lid.
Exactly. And there's seals and shit on this too, but I can go buy them. I can go to Livonia. There's a big lab outlet, not outlet, but a big lab supply store in Livonia. So I mean, I can go there and get probably everything I need.
There it is.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Jim
I mean, I'll
Owen.
be able to eventually, from some of the stuff, my research, I guess we'll say, I should be able to make. I have to winterize, so that's a pain in the ass. Something I don't normally do. Make shit like sub-zero cold so that it solidifies the plant wax so you can filter it out. But I have everything else to do the filtering and the Buckner funnel and all that. But if I did that, if I winterized it, the oil that I make would be viscous enough that you could just inject it into a fucking cart. And
Oh,
just
shit.
fucking like a cannabis oil cart.
Right.
It probably tastes terrible because there's a mix of everything, but
Okay, but you could do it separately. Like, let's say that you have some luck with this the Santa Cruz cut CBD, right? That could be a great
I could do
daytime
a
runner. You know what I mean? Sure.
Yeah, a single cultivar run. Yeah, I could definitely do something like that.
I was gonna use an analogy and say, your step up is like going from the hair straightener days to the low temp plates. But it's not even that. It's like a completely different, method of removing.
Yeah, it's just the right way. It's just the way that the fucking, well, like Painted Lady said, it's what the fucking
the
scientists are
science,
using to
right.
do the same process. I mean, if there's a better way, they'd be doing that.
Exactly.
And maybe there's a better way that I'm just not aware of. But as far as I've looked into, this was it. So that's the way I wanted to head towards. I mean, there's way bigger machines that do way more and blah 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 all that. But I'm saying at my and really this is probably more than home scale, but at home scale, I think this is the top. I don't know. The only thing you'd add from here is then you could do if you wanted to get not so much volume, but I'm saying if you wanted to do different processes, you could get a short path distillation unit. So you could take run it through the rotovap to remove the ethanol, take your oil from that point, and then put it on a short path distillation, and then you could fucking get distillate and separate everything out if you wanted to from then on out. So I mean, you could get one more apparatus and do even more things.
Hell yeah. It's just moving forward,
Yeah. It's for me, it's just RSO. I mean, that's where my heart is, and that's what I like to do. And I like to, I think it's probably the best medicine that cannabis so far that I've experienced with cannabis. And this is going to help me make RSO better. So I'm happy.
Green Goblin says bubble and press for home scale, in my opinion, unless you're comfortable with the lab equipment. And I think that's one of the things is, a lot of times when we first start growing our own, you have the best intentions on what you want to do, but you have put all of your eggs in one basket. So you set up the garden, but you don't have the ability to do a wash, or you don't have the screens, or you don't have, all the money for the low templates and all that. So there is definitely a leveling up on this sort of thing, I think. And as you've been into the hobby or
and I want to put it out there for people. I this is not a new machine. I can't afford a new one. I was lucky enough to shout out to Eric at Winewood Organics. He happened to have one on the tour. He happened to have a unit that he wasn't using, and we worked out a deal. He gave me a great deal on it. So, because of him, I'm able to.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Works for both of you.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
Do you think that it changes the efficiency, or do you think that it makes it more of a time-saving issue? What is the thing that you notice the most?
So for one, the biggest thing I'll say is it's a quality boost. And the reason for that is because you have, way more static control of temperature, because your solvent flask is submerged in water that you can control the temperature of. So water holds temperature real well and doesn't it doesn't move much. In fact, I get a constant readout. I can sit there. I love watching that machine.
Real-time
I can
change.
sit there and get the real time. I can see the temperature, and I was doing adjustments. I was going up and down to control the rate of evaporation, and I could see it happen. But that's another thing I love about it, how it's all pretty much glass, so you can watch the whole process, so you can see how fast or how slow it's going, and you can make adjustments.
I forgot about that part, dude. That's got to be the part that's like mesmerizing, not just watching the spin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. And just watching the whole, yeah, it's
In the old days, we used to watch a washing machine, you know. Like, we're leveling up on that too, guys.
It's pretty cool. And then the whole, I've never seen a water aspiration pump before, so I had to learn that whole thing.
Now, what is that doing?
So it's a vacuum pump that sits in a vat of water that you fill up, and so the water can help actually cool the pump.
Keep it cool.
And then there's 2 outlets for the water, which I have turned off. I don't use this part of it, but you could, if I had a different condenser that I didn't put the dry ice in, and it had like the radiator style condenser, I could hook up the water lines to it, and it would circulate the water through there to cool my alcohol. So
Which
it's
is
an
gonna
option I
cause
could
it-
still do. I could buy that condenser if I didn't want to, say, sit there and babysit it with throwing ice in it every once in a while. I could just run that water through, but it doesn't get nearly as cold as the ice. So there's that. And I know some tricks to make dry ice even colder, which I won't really say on here because I'm not sure about it.
Right on.
But yeah, I was playing with that today, and that was fucking amazing how fast I was. I mean, I could see constant drips, boom, 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 coming off of it. And I was like, yeah.
So what happens if you evaporate it more quickly versus going for the slow evaporation?
So if I evaporated it too quickly, like there was evaporating too much at a time, it would get so hot that it would warm up the dry ice,
Solution.
and it's just going to eat it up, and then it'll be gone. And so I could combat that. So I could increase my speed if I'm willing to throw more money at dry ice.
Here we go.
Just have a cooler, and I did that today. I had 2 bags of it today is what I went through, but you just put them in my cooler, and then put that cooler in the freezer. So break up what I needed until it was full, and then once it's got halfway down or a little bit under halfway down, I'd go get the bag again, smash up a little bit more, throw it in there, and just kept doing that. And with the dry ice in a cooler in the freezer, it seemed to be fine. It stayed pretty. I don't think I lost much.
It's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. I've been watching lots and lots of videos on extraction, man. It's
Hey,
not
your
my-
suggested
it's not somebody
videos
else-
is
Yeah.
getting crazy. It's kind of like it's letting you know what you need to do on the next level. Like, oh shit. You know,
Oh yeah. I mean, once I commit that kind of money to something, I make sure I know what the fuck. At least, I don't like spending that kind of money, and
you're not
just
doing it for
on a
bells and
whim or-
whistles. Bro.
Yeah, I want to make sure I at least knew a little bit of what I was getting into. But anyways, that water pump thing is awesome because it's quiet as shit. I think it's because it's partially submerged in the water. But the water got warm as fuck. So I have to remember next time. That's another thing. Next time is I'm going to do a not fill it up as high and then throw a bunch of ice in that shit.
Okay, just regular house ice, not the dry.
Yeah,
ice.
just house ice. And I'm not going to give it the dry ice treatment. That would probably fuck that pump up.
Well, what's nice about it is that all of the materials and all of the things to learn how to run this thing are probably all standard shit that you can find online, even if it's not your specific model.
I
but-
refuse to buy shit online unless I absolutely have to, man.
Sure,
I just hate
yeah.
that shit. But I actually got some. What did I need? Some tubing and like another like little.
Going to
tea
Menards
thing.
for
But I
that
got-
tubing, baby.
Oh yeah, I got all that shit I needed right at the hardware store, so I was good. I got all the shit I needed. In fact, I upgraded. I got my tubing as I was running it today. I saw it kind of collapsing as I pulled the vacuum. So
all that the braided shit.
So I just kept running it like that because it was holding vacuum and it was doing good. But once I was all done today and turned it off, I got some. The tubing that has like it looks like
The wire in it.
Yeah, not wire, but I think it's
Yeah.
fabric or some shit. I don't know, whatever it is, but yeah, it looks like crossed.
Mhm.
Like it's it won't collapse. So we'll find out. I got some of that and cut that all up and got it all hooked up. So I'll try it tomorrow probably. See if it
Hell
holds.
yeah, man.
Yeah, little improvements.
The only problem is the weather's so nice. It sucks you getting stuck and having to babysit that. You know.
No,
when
it's
good weather.
and that's the thing is I might have to put it off tomorrow, and I need to do a lot of. I need to get those beds planted soon if I want to be able to eat.
So what are you gonna put in?
Oh well, what I got to do tomorrow for sure is go to. I got a 2-year-old compost pile that I just need to dig up and screen and start throwing and filling up the beds. Make sure they're all topped off with enough soil, and then one of my beds I'm going to have to plant. I'm going to go down and get some plants started. I'll probably get some tomatoes from the greenhouse. I was just actually there a couple of days, just kind of scoping out what I might buy, but. One bed's already planted with like my brassica, like a bunch of kale from last year. It just seeded out, and it's just fucking full of kale coming up. It's so good, man. It tastes like broccoli right now because you get like the little baby shoots and just eat it. It's like microgreens. Oh, it's so fucking good.
Hell
But
yeah.
it's just loaded. Like I could sit there and graze all night long and still not thin it out enough. There's so many. And then I want to throw in some other leafy greens in there though, like spinach and maybe some lettuce. And then maybe radish. I think I got some radishes I want to throw in there too. But other than that, I can wait on some of the other stuff and just get the plants at the damn
Farmers markets or something.
at the greenhouse. Or I mean, I've got seeds I can start on the side too. Maybe I'll do that. Or
I
not
mean,
start
most of us growers have an extra grow light that we're not running right now that you
I'll just throw
can.
them outside. It's fucking warm. It's gonna be 80 something. Fuck.
Right.
No, I need to do that. I just keep forgetting. I have so much. I have just tons of good pots of soil out there that are just waiting to be used too. So it'd be a good seed starter.
Do you have like a bunch of castings or anything that you can run with that? Or
Yeah, a ton of I have like 3 bags out there. Well, 2.5. One bag was destroyed by a raccoon that got in my garage. Fucker, man. I don't know what was special about those bag of castings, but he scattered them all over the place. Man, he was having a good old time.
That is
But
weird.
yeah, castings.
Fat ass raccoons fucking around.
trash pandas?
I thought I'd be smart and leave my
They're so cute.
garbage can of bird feed sunflower seeds in
Gotta
a
keep it in the garage, baby.
10-gallon garbage can with a lid. I was like, oh, I'll put a bungee cord on the lid, and it kept the lid on all right, but
Those
they chewed a hole
squirrels.
through the fucking lid and emptied out that whole fucking garbage can. There's about 20 pounds of sunflower seed in there.
There was like
Oh,
one bird in there
yeah.
that like ate itself too fat and couldn't get out. And it was like, I came through this hole, but I cannot get back out.
I figured it out. There's a like 30-foot long animal run. I thought this fucking thing was a like
created a
river. I
run?
thought it was a river. It's a mouse run, dude, that goes from like where this bucket was next to my shed all the way to my garden bed. It's high, like mice are living up in my raised bed, over
Eating up
winter.
at Red Mart, man.
That's like a little like zigzagging trail, and I'm like, is this like a little river in my yard? And I'm like, this little tiny river, little itty bitty river. And today I'm walking and I see a mouse using the run, and I'm like, motherfucker, this is a run.
I
This is a
thought I
mouse
saw
run.
a mouse.
And then I'm looking
out
at
in
it,
the garden.
and it goes all the way to where that fucking thing was. So all winter long, they've just back and forth and back and
Have
forth.
they had a good
This
appetite?
fucking thing, dude. Oh, I'm sure the little fat fuckers. They're huge mice, dude. They're big old fat fuckers. Saw
El
one a couple
Guapos.
times today.
You need to get you a big old fat cat out there.
I
I know
just-
somebody who has some.
Surprised that they haven't gotten out there yet. I have raccoon and cats all over the neighborhood.
One of mine, I woke up to something special the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Him with a half-eaten face.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was
Yummy.
like, is
Yummy.
that what I think it is? I didn't have
Wow.
glasses on.
Savage, huh?
Hey, man, these fuckers better be earning their keep around here.
There you go.
5. Now I got six animals here, including that one.
7, including the other one.
Yeah.
Filthy animal.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was special. Mice. But yeah, Red, they were building a triathlon path.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
the
now
red
I'm
one?
wondering. Well, I'm guessing they're underneath like some cardboard that I tossed down last year, and to kill off a lot of the weed. I had some bad weed pressure in those beds, so I kind of let them sit dormant for the year, and instead just kind of laid some cardboard. And I'm guessing they're underneath there, had a little nest, and I'm just gonna end up smashing them, I suppose, when I go to do all the gardening and digging. And I don't know where they're at. What,
But they're aerating for you, so that's cool.
yeah, I'm gonna end up digging into
There's
this
silver
shit.
linings, baby.
I'm
Silver
really
lining.
hoping that because this whole bed is end up going to be brassicas, right? So I'm thinking, I'm hoping that they're not going to eat the roots off my broccoli and kale and all that shit. So I guess we'll find out. Hopefully they won't. I'm gonna put some onions in there. So we'll
That's
see.
what I wanted to do was garlic. I don't think I forgot to do garlic this year.
Oh, garlic out of the garden is so good. And onions.
I did a spring planting of garlic, so we'll see how that goes. I planted some a couple weeks ago.
Is it just going to be like super late harvest? Do they take a long time?
Yeah, they'll be like smaller bulbs too.
But you can just harvest the greens, and that's fucking pretty good too.
Green chives.
In a pinch, it's pretty fucking good. I bought some garlic chives. That's pretty decent stand-in for garlic. It grows fast. Well, pretty fast.
Beautiful flowers grow on chives.
Yeah.
Super
Not-
white. We got these
Not
white
much on
ones.
garlic chives, but the regular chives, they get those big like pom-poms on the top.
Yeah, those are coming up right now too. I like those. I like the garlic though. The garlic chives are cool. They get these little white, the ones that we have, get these little white flowers that open up.
Yep, little like
And they have this look. It's like a 3-dimensional flower. Like there's 2 in the back, 1 out in the front. One kind of like comes out at you. Super white though, like just like white, fresh pearl white. Like this fucking thing's amazing. And then the whole plant buds up. It's super pretty. Come back every year too. The yarrow just keeps getting bigger. I planted a couple of those a couple years ago, and it just keeps spreading. So
okay, I don't have any yarrow. Not that I know of.
it's a good one for pollinators and
Man, I think the echinacea coneflowers, man, those things bring so much pollinators. That and then I have this book. I don't even know what kind they're.
Butterfly bush.
Privet. It was called a privet hedge. I planted it the year I bought the house. I planted a hedgerow along my fence where my fence line is now, and that thing is like easily 20 foot tall, almost. At least 20 foot tall, because it's maybe 12 foot tall. I'm getting a little crazy because my fence is 6 foot tall, and it's maybe 6 foot above that, maybe. But it flowers out, like the whole thing turns into just like a big mass of flowers. And for like weeks on end, all you hear is buzzing out there.
I had one that was like 6 feet tall, like coneflower. And I still, last year's is still standing there. And I'm wondering like, I wonder if that'll come back or if I can shake that shit out, get some seeds out of it.
Man, I'd be surprised. Are there seeds in it? I'd be
I don't
surprised
know.
the birds haven't destroyed it.
back. Ones I've had have been coming back. Oh, dude, I have so much planting to do now that I'm thinking about it. We have gems and genetics this weekend. Shout out to that. Gems and genetics.
Where's that located?
Michigan Gems and Genetics Instagram page.
Morley.
Yeah. M with an M.
Yes.
Morley.
Morley.
Morley, Michigan, north of Grand Rapids, I believe. That's this weekend, noon to 9. I think there's camping. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a
Big
little
Jar got a hold of me. He's going to be
fun
there. This weekend.
party.
You'll see him there.
Hopefully, everybody's out there and hanging out. Astro Charlie's vending. Becca and I will be vending. I mean, we're just in a 10 by 10, and our stuff's going to be filled with our booth and stuff, so I'm not sure where the hangout spot's going to be. Maybe we can post up some tables and stuff behind the tent, not to impede any vending traffic or anything
Speaking
like
of all
that.
this vending that you guys have been doing, how is it making the transition from the good old hocus focus to the new truck? Like your pack in and everything, because you had everything figured out. Like this has to go here in order for me to be able to fit all of this crap in the back of this little tiny car.
I have I got a good solid foot or two of additional bed length. It's not incredibly much, right? The canopy fits in there, but like I could fit it in the Focus and it would like be here next to me. Now it's like right behind the
It's
seat.
right here.
So I might have maybe not even 2 feet. I probably have an additional 8 inches of bed space, but it's definitely wider. Definitely have way more headroom in it. So
It's got to be easier, man.
I can fit a lot more shit in there. A lot more shit in there. It's way easier. But honestly, man, we're gonna
And
end up
then I
getting
get to sit comfy. That's what I like.
trailer eventually. To keep
Yeah.
everything
Otherwise, your
propped
seat's
up.
got to be like pitched forward, and
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. See, she knows the position.
Yeah. Big front seat though, man. That thing's got a really nice front seat, a lot of leg room, so we can both scoot the seats up pretty far. And I've been thinking about I could probably strap everything down. We could probably take the top back for the whole trip.
Oh, jeez.
Hope not to lose anything up the back.
Becca.
My
Is,
hair's just a little too curly for it. I have to like.
It would be blown out, man.
It's
Joys
just
of
like,
a soft top.
A big tangled mess. Yeah.
I have frizzy hair. If it's blow dried at all, yeah.
She's like, nah, I'm good. Man.
No. Like hide.
It is nice though. I haven't
Feels good.
whole shit in that Focus, dude. Really nice. We'll see how it comes. I got weddings to do. Whole speakers around.
Mm.
That'll be fun. But yeah, I mean, we're adding more gear to our stuff. We wouldn't be able to carry all this gear. We're gonna have Pelicans now. We're hauling glass around with us.
Do you mean Pelicans are going to be carrying these cases for us, and that's what you guys are going to? Exactly. That's what.
Okay,
It's
all
too
right.
late in the show for that. You have to
the
explain that.
knockoff version of Pelicans. I shouldn't actually say Pelicans. These
What are
things
they called?
some different.
What
name.
what purpose does it perform?
It's just a hard case with a nice
There we go.
cushiony material inside, so that
Foamy.
so I don't break none of this.
I
Artisan
think you did
glass.
that trace out for your glass, and you put that.
Yeah, it worked
cut
out
it.
pretty
That
good.
turned out pretty good.
I didn't realize I could actually cut it reasonably with a knife. So the first one was like just a whole bunch of little square pick out, so it looks kind of like 8-bit. But the next one's like a little bit
Minecraft.
better cut out, and then the third one's like a little bit better cut out. The fourth one's a little bit better. What you don't see is underneath these things are just like gouged out, But no, I didn't do too bad.
Look good.
Yeah, we would get new foam. I'd imagine I'm just going to work with the same pieces. As I go through some of these, I'm just going to kind of try to reorder the same things and just kind of keep the same molds. He works with a pretty familiar mold, at least Kazoo Glassworks does. He has like half a dozen styles that are all very similar in nature.
That's Kazoo Glass on Instagram, right?
Mhm. Yeah, he's got some cool work. And then I'm working with Diligent Glass. Diligent Glass has some really cool stuff in the theme of nature. So mostly pendants. Pendants, dab tools. He does collabs, and he does have functional glass art that he'll collab with Decal. I hope they're not calling that one. I think it's Decal Glass or something like that.
I get a late question here. This is for the chat as well. When it comes to dab tools, do you guys just use any old fucking thing? Do you prefer something? Are you in the market for something?
This
Never
is
get to
what
talk
I
about
use.
those. It's the little metal one that everybody has. It's comes with little plastic
Yeah.
tips.
It's
Okay.
An ooze one that I first
Same.
ever got.
Yeah. Spartan's got one.
Paid the 99 cents at the gas station for this one.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's do this little PSA. You might want to check that, because we talked about how we're going to spend so much time making sure we don't have these high lead and high fucking remediated bullshit.
Well,
We can
I don't
we
do
can use azomite because, oh, heaven forbid, we don't want to fucking.
You have to remember, I don't have a rig, so it's not like I heat this up. This never even gets heat, so I got nothing to worry about. 99 cents was perfect.
I got a heady glass
Oh, you
dab
have a
tool.
cool one.
Yeah, I got a little. It's a little bone with a little tip to it. We'll see. This dude's sending me some little more expensive artwork. It's pretty good. Some of them are like daggers. Some of them are mushrooms. Like some pretty cool dab tools. Not gonna lie. For what I'm getting them, I'm able to get rid of them. Less than a couple $100, which is awesome. It's not like super expensive glass, which is really cool.
There, this is my new fucking hash spoon here. This is just a classic like antique salt spoon is all it is.
That's pretty
I'll tell
cool.
you what,
Swivel.
it's like a little bit smaller than all the bowls that I have. So
Yeah, but I like how it's got that little like hole in it on the handle where you could like put like a fucking nail in the wall or something. You can fucking have a pot to hold it.
Yeah,
Put it right on the wall.
Right next to wherever you're right.
you get enough fucking kefir on here and you'll fucking stick it to it, man.
Hell yeah, protect.
Just keep that right next to your bag of CBD isolate and hope that your
Baby, come back.
somebody doesn't stop by.
Yeah, man. Well, that's cool then. The event will be a good time. Hopefully a lot of you can come out for it, get together and burn down.
Hell yeah, dude. A lot of burning down. Hope everybody gets a good chance to burn a lot of cannabis down.
Yeah, man.
Camp out. It's gonna be a beautiful weekend. Day temperatures in the 80s.
Don't forget to pack your hammock, right?
Yeah, night temperatures probably in the 50s. We got that.
Becca, do you guys
30-degree
both have a
swing
hammock?
going right now?
Like those like Eno ones, the Eagles Nest Outfitters.
No,
Or
we
Grand Trunk.
have this like cloth one that we both will lay in, but I do want my own.
Dude, they're so fucking cool. Especially here's a shout out if you're like a taller person like me and Spartan. Love you, Red. You can get this company is called Grand Trunk, and their double hammock is like 11 feet long. Because the deal with those parachute ones that are easy to pack in and pack out is you don't lay in those the same way as you do the ones with like a rigid end on it where they have, like on your deck and shit. So you just lay in it diagonally and it wraps up around you. Oh, man.
They're comfy.
And you can do it super cheap these days if you don't want to spend like $70 on one, which I get. You can go on Amazon and you can get ones that already have like the bug net that is already on top of it and you zipper yourself into it. So like you can totally camp in cool thing. Comes with a rain fly over top of it and shit. So it's like $30.
There are some places. We're going to the Smoky Mountains, right, in a couple weeks.
You're gonna love it.
There's some places that you can camp there where it's hammock only camping.
Oh,
And
right.
I was like really thinking about it because I wanted to stay at this place, but
Ooh,
Do it.
hammock.
Hammocks are fucking. You'll sleep
The
really well, but the only
scientists.
thing is,
We have to be by our truck. That's the problem.
well, you can get something for the back of your truck that goes into the hitch that you can tie two hammocks off to. So all you need is like 2 trees. So you back your thing up into it, you tie off on the end of the truck, and then the other side ties off onto one tree. The other person ties off on this other bar, which is right next to you. You tie to the other tree.
I'm cool with
Bam, bam,
that.
bam.
that is cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
That is
man.
cool. But it was like a place where you had to hike to get there. You couldn't.
Okay.
You couldn't take your, or
The-
else
the-
like that would have been really cool.
The other pro tip is to make sure that you have, they call it an underquilt. So it's actually like, it's like a blanket cocoon that's open on the end. So you feed the 2 ends that have the carabiner for the hammock itself. Because otherwise what'll happen is like your lower back and your ass and shit will fucking freeze. Unless you're in like a sleeping bag in there. So it gets cold at night. You don't want to wake up a little stiff and sore.
I was just afraid Candyman would get me
Good thought.
Hey, man.
to the bottom of the hammock.
I plan on fucking getting into my entheogens and here and tying off out in the backwoods myself here when the moon is full or some night. It's straight.
Sounds like a good time.
Hell yeah. Ah,
Yes, Aldridge, you can do low temp dabs off my forehead.
no.
I got a little bit of a sunburn today. I brought the sunscreen outside with me. I just never put it on.
It's also like 2.
I have to get a base down. I have to get a 5. It's a 4. It's a 4.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah, I can't go higher than 4. I gotta keep. Yeah.
no.
See, the thing is, I won't really burn bad without it, so I just keep it low enough, just as long as I keep a little SPF on there to cut the.
Do you see they figured out that's what's killing
Cut
off the
the
fucking
sun
coral
rays.
reef?
You realize that the number on an
Yes.
SPF is only the length of time that
Sunscreen.
you are allowed to be out in the sun without a burn. It's not a strength factor. Do you guys know
So
that?
what is that? For what?
I
Because
never
There's a
really had
32.
it.
There's a 64. There's no way that thing's working for 64 hours.
No.
Not hour. It's not an hours thing, but it's not like a strength. Like, oh, I'm only going to be able to get like a little bit of a protection
Burn.
from the
Okay,
sun.
yeah.
It's just like how long you can be out in the sun without getting burned. So like the higher the number, the longer you can stay out. The higher the protection factor.
I don't know. I've always just used 4. I don't really get burned. But I'm very olive in skin tone. I just
Yeah.
totally different.
Oh yeah, I'm white AF.
Yeah.
I'm Scottish and German. Yeah.
That means you burn a lot.
Yeah. So I gotta wear like 1,000. If they had 1,000, I would wear 1,000. Because man, you know, the sun is terrible for you. I mean, I love it. I love it. I love being in it. It feels so good. It's nice and warm, but man, no good.
I'm also Scottish, and I don't wear sunscreen except for when we go on the fucking float thing. I wear it then after getting burnt the first time.
Oh, dude, the burn the first time was
Oh,
fucking wicked.
Water reflection. Oh man, it's the worst.
It was so sunny, man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Gotta acclimate. That's why I'm getting on the sun now while it's still May before June, because that's when the sun gets ripe, is like
Yeah.
June and July. You know, it's at its strongest.
Dude, I'm spending all day outside, man.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I'm outside all day long between now and probably October. So
Exactly.
I gotta do some work inside. I gotta do
We
some
ate outside dinner
processing. Yeah, we
tonight.
ate dinner outside tonight.
First time.
Yeah, as long as it's above 60.
Did you use the back deck out of the patio part from the kitchen?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Oh,
It's gonna
not
be
the,
so-
not the balcony.
Not
No,
the
no.
balcony?
Yeah, we don't eat up here. We eat down on the deck.
I really want to figure out something to do with this little balcony, but I can't decide.
It's too front and center. It's the only balcony. Everybody's just kind of
Man, I'm
out
telling
there.
you, when I
I
was
would
going to
put a
build that
fucking
barn,
strobe light on it and smoke out there, and just
Yep.
my fucking.
I would just be on that balcony
power.
all the fucking time, man.
I mean, I do smoke out there, but it's
Naked.
We
The
just
plan,
need more comfortable seats.
I wouldn't do naked because then they fucking call the cops on you.
yeah. I have way too big of a garden. The last thing
I thought you were going to say something else, Red. I have
don't
way
know.
too big of a.
we're trying to have chickens and all kinds of shit. Trying to be discreet over here.
Eating
Yeah.
dinner tonight, I was like, I can count like 20 houses.
There's
So,
3,500.
you know-
There's
you know
like
what here's what you
3,500
do.
homes in my square mile neighborhood. It's
Guys,
disgusting.
You could do anything you wanted to, but you could even get like the bamboo screening. You know how it's like it's on a roll. You just roll it out. You could use that. You could turn around and put a couple posts up so you could drop the bamboo screen down if you wanted to. I mean, it's such a cool view, and it'd be nice to look over your garden. Maybe that'd be the smoke spot. You could even get a 3-season room so you could smoke out there.
All sounds so nice, Scobo.
It always does, doesn't it? It's just
Yeah,
time
too
and
bad I
money,
have
my
about another
friend.
$30,000 to put in my
I
house
know,
before I can
man.
even touch somewhere. Too bad I don't have
We can
time to
dream,
sit
Red.
down
we,
to
we
enjoy.
can dream.
I love it because shout out to Daddy Red. He's always like, we got to do this. We got to fix this underneath the balcony thing. He's been telling me about this thing ever since he moved in the house. Yet I haven't been able to actually sit down to enjoy it. Like during a thunderstorm. If it's a thunderstorm, I'm in here working and I'm doing shit. Like I never get a chance to just sit down, like fucking kick it. Like, oh man, like the time I actually get to enjoy it, to actually need that, I end up selling the house by the time it's actually done. I got doors that need to all be changed. I've got leaky roof that needs to be changed. I got animals getting in the soffits. All the soffits need to be fucking changed. Yeah, I got
Yikes.
soffits.
I was gonna tell
pretty
you to
much the
take
whole
time.
perimeter of the house.
I was gonna
Gutters
tell you
are
to take
falling
time,
down. Got to
you
get the
know.
gutters in.
The gutters aren't hard to do. You can just go to the store and buy those long ass gutter nails. And,
Oh no, I need a 30-foot ladder because I can't reach. I mean, my gutters are 20 feet off the ground. So
in the front of the house. Yeah.
front and
Well,
back of the house. Yeah.
I don't even like doing my. I don't even know what mine are, but they're not 20 feet. I don't even
They're
like doing
fucking up there.
those.
I don't have a ladder big enough, and I don't intend on
sucks.
buying one anytime soon big enough. Fuck with it. So it's all stuff I got to get a contractor for, and it's all shit that I need a contractor for.
Mhm.
So we're not around. We've been busy as fuck. So I don't have time to get a contractor right now.
I can
We're
remember I bought
On
the
the
cheap
road.
gutter guards at Menards, and I couldn't even afford enough for the whole gutter, so I'd only do like a little stretch one year. The next year, I do another stretch. Next year, I finally got them all done, and I haven't had to clean the gutters since. I fucking love it.
So you are a proponent for those?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I am.
Okay.
I
hate
need
clean
those,
gutters.
man. I've got so many pine trees with those pine
Not-
needles gumming up everything.
Same.
Yeah, I'm not a proponent for the ones they try to sell you going door to door, and they charge you like thousands of dollars, which is fucking absolutely stupid. I'm talking about I went to Menards and paid like $5 or $6 a panel. That was like maybe this
12
wide.
inches
It
or 18
wasn't very
inches.
wide, but yeah, and I just did what I could until I had it done. But it was way the fuck cheaper than what they were trying to charge me for that.
I would
shit.
hate to see what my gutters look like.
Just folded the fucking rim with brim, baby.
Oh,
Fucking
dude,
no
oh,
idea
I used
what they
to
look
clean
like.
mine every year.
So you gotta
I
do them
can't.
twice.
I can't get up there. My gutters are way too high for me to get up there.
Oh,
A tall house. It's a split level house, so it's
do you have a double? Do you have a attached garage?
my
is it
garage is
below?
below my house.
Yeah, so you get a ladder to get down to your roof's garage, and then you get another ladder on your roof,
Step
on
to
your
get up to
garage
the
roof,
house. Yeah.
and then they get you to the top of their house.
No, it's all one big structure. My garage is beneath my
Oh.
house,
That's built into it. Oh, okay.
dude. My it's 20 feet up there. It's up
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, those
I think
ladders
it's
are
probably taller
expensive.
than that.
Go look
And
see what a
it's-
20-foot ladder costs. They're expensive as hell.
And that's why I'm not getting one anytime soon.
They are expensive.
You don't need a 20-foot ladder. You need a 30-foot ladder because it's not it either. Because like you try climbing one of those things, it's like
Yeah.
I'm not
Terrible.
fucking getting on one of those things, dude.
Yeah,
I let the professionals deal with it. I'll get on a ladder. I'll climb a fucking tree. I'll get in the high. I don't get on a ladder and do the boo 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 boo.
Red, when's the last time you climbed a
it?
tree?
that's the new
Last
aluminum
summer.
ladders. They're all fucking.
Last summer.
He did.
I got up in my pine tree and scoped out the neighborhood.
I just looked out the window and he's just in the tree. I was so confused. How'd you get in the
I was
tree?
up there.
Yo, I'm just chilling.
Well, my neighbor's got a grape. Got this grapevine.
Oh yeah.
That is just gonna take out my pine tree. So I'm trying to figure out where I can cut off its. I know where I can cut its life supply, but I need to try to get up there and actually fuck with this thing. Part of me wants to kind of keep it. It's kind of a nice thing, but it's kind of a wild grape, and it's kind of I don't know. I kind of just want to fuck with it for the leaves, not so much the actual fruit. Grape leaves are great. I love grape leaves. They always have that like little like vinegary kind of a flavor to them, even before they're fermented and pickled. But I'll fuck grapes. That's what I need to find is grapes. We ended up finding some blueberry bushes. Got about 3 blueberry bushes, 2 different varieties. Raspberry. I already have blackberries, so I ended up needing some raspberries. All shit like so. I have a lot of pine trees, right? So like stuff that'll do well in the acidic nature of the pine. You know, so some berry bushes, some roses and stuff. I got 3 different rose bushes, but then we got some apples. I'm sorry, we got some fruit trees. We ended up getting 2 apple trees. We already have other apples surrounding us, so there's pollinator apples everywhere. So we got a Macintosh and a Honeycrisp apple tree, and then we got a pear
Super golden
tree.
crisp.
I want to go back and get probably another pair and things. I don't know. We already have too many for what we kind of are working with. But then I got a
Well, like
self-pollinated
a
cherry.
Bradford pear.
It's
Tall ones.
a-
They don't really
Bartlett.
get wide.
What'd you
Yeah.
say?
Bartlett.
Bartlett
Bartlett
Okay.
pear.
They're pretty.
Yeah, they're nice. I do want those sweet reds. I wanted to go. There's just they were all frozen. They didn't take well to the winter. All the trees that we got had good buds on them. That is one thing you really need to check for is, if you're getting your trees early, we got them a few days ago, but like they were all just post freeze. You know what I mean? You really need to look for frostbite. So we avoided the trees with the frostbite, and they're all budded up right now. They got flowers going within 3 days of just being outside in beautiful weather. Like they're all totally opened up with leaves. So we got to get them in the ground. So we're trying to plot a spot for those. This is the year of abundance, I think. Just get a ton of different varieties going, man. Just keep this permaculture thing going alive.
Well, the inflation and all the fertilizer woes and everything
Yeah.
else, I'm not too worried.
Yeah, me neither. I keep eating. And next is just trying to figure out where to store everything. I'm thinking about digging a hole and putting a cooler in the ground or something and tossing shit like carrots and potatoes.
Like a reseller.
Yeah, getting maybe a couple of those going and trying to figure out some.
That's funny to me.
Yeah,
That's
some
kind of
extra
old timey, but it would work. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, they totally work. There's a handful of other options, but like you get some stuff started up. You get some carrots and some potatoes and things like that started up in September, and they'll get big enough that you can store them in the ground throughout the winter. You put a tarp or something over them so the snow doesn't, rot them basically. And you pull back the tarp or hoop house or caterpillar tunnel, whatever you use, and like you can harvest them fuckers all winter long. Just use the ground as cold storage. Carrots, most root crops, so probably even a lot of your greens too, or spinach, kale,
You can grow a lot of those if you just throw
chard.
a little plastic over them. You know what I mean? Like a little mini hoop house.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They'll grow so slow that like you need to get them going in like September so that they're of size. That way they'll like
Push
you
through
can-
December, January.
yeah, because they'll survive, but they won't grow much.
So like a raised bed with a mini hoop house that's on a hinge that you can just pick it up and move
Yeah.
it and then do what you want to do and set it back into it.
Grow all year long.
I've just got a PVC frame out. That's the bent frame, and then I'll just throw plastic over it.
What kind of plastic are you using for that? Like,
like the
Just
hardware
some
store
kind of
grabs
clear
plastic.
bullshit. It's just the thick stuff.
Just grab some fucking like a roll of polyurethane or whatever the fuck it is. Just a roll of clear plastic I found at hardware store.
Save shit. Got a new bed this year and it came in like 2 layers of plastic and it was fucking huge. I ended up getting like a 10 by 10 chunks of plastic off of it.
That's a
Like,
hoop
this is
house, right?
perfect. Yeah, exactly. I folded that shit up, saved it, tossed it in a tote.
How are you doing your edges for that when you're using PVC? Are you just using, a couple of 45s and rocking it that way?
I just what the fuck? I have to remember. I don't have to go back out there and look at it again. I just bend them.
Yeah.
And then
Rebar.
put a spine down the middle so everything hooked to the middle spine, and then it bent down. And then I think it was just a wood frame around it so that it wouldn't like fall apart.
I used a rebar to anchor mine outside.
Oh, that's smart.
actually
Drop the
did
rebar in and then put the PVC over top of it and bend it.
Yeah,
Dude, there it is right there.
That's what I need to do eventually on all mine.
it comes down quick too. You know what I mean? At the end of the
Yeah.
year, that's
There's
nice.
a diamond sighting right there if you're paying
I
attention.
know. She just can't get comfortable.
Flopping
Beautiful
around.
life. Guess what? She plunked down just like that on Baby earlier.
She's been quiet the whole show. She must not know it's Monday night.
She's not. I don't know. She was up all night, waking us up all night. wanting us to be up with her.
Doing the
and then as soon as
Catusi
we
on you?
got up,
Yeah.
she went back to bed. She went to sleep on the couch. It's terrible. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I-
Here it goes. Wake up, baby.
No.
Is that us? Who was that?
That was
Uh,
Pan Lady.
Pan Lady.
Yeah. There you go. She's stopping it.
Dude, we had to take our pumpkins outside. They were like this, like not the pumpkin, but the plant. The leaves are already this fucking big. Like we have 8 in a tray.
Hmm.
They're fucking huge. Becca's been transplanting everything, and everything's just being huge. They all
You know that-
exploded.
Do you know that you can eat pumpkin leaves? I
Oh,
didn't know
this-
that until
yeah.
last year.
They're good. Well, they're spiny. You need to cook them up, but
Just fry them in the frying pan.
the stem of them is nice and juicy and watery. You catch those ones, just
I'm
flick
talking
the
about
spines
the,
up.
you can take the spine off, and then what I saw on a show was they're frying them up like greens. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna try that shit.
Have you guys ever done the fried zucchini blossom thing?
I haven't. That kills the. Doesn't it make it so you doesn't, or do you wait until the zucchini starts, or do you have to get the blossom when it's blossom?
The actual blossom. Yeah, I guess they just harvest the blossoms and then they put it in some kind of batter and then they fry it. And
You
I
say
don't
deep
know.
fried rat? Is that what we're talking about again? We
No.
have a late callback to that bro show, camel, kangaroo, or deep fried fucking rat.
I chose camel for the record.
Camel was the winner. And everybody else, you know, they didn't want to win, but that's how we rolled. No, Red, were you eating the kangaroo?
Yeah.
No, man, they look too much like our canine friends.
There you go.
I'm gonna eat the one that looks like a deer.
Well, there
Yeah,
you
it
go.
looks like a deer.
Exactly.
That's how
See, there's Jay again with the kangaroo. I don't know what's with you guys. I don't know how you can eat the cute little fuckers.
Yeah, they
Man,
just
dude, it looks like a rat to me. Yeah, it's
Those
like
things
the
will
biggest
fuck
rat
you
ever.
up.
Hey, put some
Okay,
body
there,
gloves
yeah,
on,
there's
get
some,
knocked
I've seen
out.
some
They look
ripped
like
ass
terriers. They look like
Everybody's
Jack.
terriers that are doing this and fighting with
You know what? That muscle is probably good eating though. It might be
You're back into it.
because it wouldn't be very fatty.
I'm thinking about
Guys
that
are
tail. They got that tail. It's like
You don't eat.
a chunk of it. Not like
Is
the
this
long
oxtail
titty-
soup now,
Yeah,
too?
it's like
Oh,
oxtail,
what?
root tail,
Yeah.
root tail.
Just like
Yeah.
crocodile
root
tail,
tail soup.
alligator tail. Yeah.
We got a
We're
lot
trying
of-
not to ruin your appetites before you get off here, guys. And,
I've been
Sorry to
hungry, man.
our meatless.
Becky, you got the
vegan
munchies?
friends.
Yeah, man.
what's
I do
the
not eat
snack?
Kangaroo.
We have a little bit of cheesecake left that I think I want to eat.
Oh,
Definitely.
And
eat the
approval.
cheesecake.
So much watermelon. Oh my gosh, I cut up a watermelon.
Definitely
it's
eat some
like
more watermelon. We need to
bags
plant
and bags.
watermelon seeds.
Call back
Yeah.
to the very beginning, right?
cutting up a watermelon is like grinding like a dense nug. It just blows up. It's like, where did this?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like pineapple too. Pineapple's the same way. Fresh
Oh,
pineapple.
yeah,
I have this
crazy.
weird way I cut it where I like chop the tops off so it's flat, and then I'll like skin it,
No,
and
that's how
then
you do it.
it looks like a brain. Do you
Right. So
guys
then
do
what
it
you
that
do
way?
is cut it in half after you've done that, after you've taken all the eyes off of it, and then just make 2 cuts with your knife. You're just going to cut like a triangle out of the center of it. You're just removing that part. Then once you do, slice it a couple times, run your blade through it. Then you come through with your cantaloupe and your honeydew, get some grapes, put that with it.
She said we're going to eat brain.
I've got the actual watermelon cutter
We're
too.
going to eat brain.
Oh,
I use
They're
that,
coming to get you, Barbara.
Coming to get the brains.
which just brings it all. It all pops out in like little chunks, little squares. It's a special.
Orange
Yes, sir.
cantaloupe. Yummy.
Oh, I bought some seeds. That's like
Nice.
orange cantaloupe. I bought
Dude,
some.
you guys got me wanting to plant all of these things. I feel like it's too late for everything. I need to go plant seeds
I
like
feel
right
like
now.
Red
After the show.
I'm just gonna get a tray full of fucking.
Seeds.
Just get a tray full of fucking dirt and plant a bunch of different seeds. Fuck it.
Well, I'm
we
hoping
have
that
no room though. Is the thing we have
should put 'em on back
already?
porch.
These ones are going outside next week, and then we got room. So
Okay.
room in a few days, but it'll take a week for them to sprout. And then we got light. Yeah, we
Like
got plenty of
12 trays.
We do
Before we
need
get
more.
out of here, come through on Thursday night at 9 p.m. Hopefully, let's check real quick. Red, are we having a show for Polarity Science? He says he has
In
no
the middle
time.
of a yawn.
Oh man,
I know. Sorry, I just killed everyone. I got you all. Yeah, we're gonna have a show.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Yeah. So far, unless if we end up getting in that bind in the last minute, but
We'll see.
so far we're having
Stay
a show.
tuned.
Stay tuned. Last week was great with Cam from Spread the Spores.
Yeah.
Tune in.
Good show.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Appreciate you all.
Always fun.
See you all Sunday
Keep growing.
or Saturday.